Okay. Oh my goodness, I look like shit. Oh, it's bad lighting. Hold on, wait. There we go. One sec. Coming from meetings is it's painful. God damn it. All right. So yeah. Oh, there we go. Pretty. Hi everybody. I'm Brian. This is my show. Talking about exciting things this week because it's the end of the week, so it's kind of casual Friday, if you will. We are enjoying a lovely week of weather. Yeah, okay. And there's a lot going on. So this weekend is actually there's several conferences going on this weekend. Bsides Seattle, my hometown, Bsides Springfield, Missouri, is going on. I believe NOLACon's happening, so there's a ton of security conferences for folks to go to if they're interested. The tickets are sold out at Bsides Seattle, but unable to make sure that people have access to those. So it is what it is. I'm looking forward to seeing the talks. There's a lot of great talks going on. I'm good. Thank you very much. Had one of those meetings that I just got out of for work, and this was a meeting that should have been done on, say, like a Wednesday at 11 o'clock instead of like a Friday at 1:30, 2:30. It was very difficult because it's about a process that all of you have to deal with if you work for any kind of company that engages third parties. The process as written feels, I think it feels cumbersome. There obviously there's a need for it. There's need for oversight and the need to create trust. Back up trust with evidence or data that your third party's doing what's necessary. So just understanding that and understanding the lead time needed to, work with a certain party, because, some of it is they're going to share information with you, you're going to share information with them, a bit of both. What does that look like? Are they going to keep your data safe? They're going to ask questions about how to keep, we're sharing data with you. So, how am I going to keep your data safe? So, understanding that, but it just goes to the nth degree, and it feels a little cumbersome. So it's good that we've got manpower working on it, but that was a discussion that could have been done at Wednesday at 11 a.m., not Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon. So, but yeah, it's fun. So, wow, getting a lot of so. Nothing that I tweet or toot or face or whatever the things are ever gets traction. But once in a while, you're in a drug-fueled madness and you come up with a little bitty quip that tends to ignite people's funny bones. And so I read the story about KeyPass, and for those of you who don't know, KeyPass has a vulnerability. KeyPass, so somebody was quick to tell me, and that's MT Taggart, so thank you, MT Taggart, was quick to tell me, and I'm not sharing my screen yet, give me a second. There we go. Taggart was quick to tell me, hey, this only affects KeyPass, which is the old-ass version, or the old version, like version 1, so there's KeyPass, which is this one. Which obviously the site looks like like a typical site you might see back in the early aughts, that hasn't changed much, but they're still updating it as of January of this year. And then there's other ones like KeyPass XC, which I've used as well, which is a different one altogether. I've used this one more than I think I've used this one. I think they're different. I want to believe they're different. Let's see if the so they have the KeyPass XC team. This was obviously created in 2016, whereas the original KeePass was created in 2003. So huge difference between these, and I don't know if the vulnerability is in KeePass XC. I don't know what XC means. I'm assuming they went through all the other letters, KeePass A, B, and now they're up to XC version or something. I don't know. But this one specifically has a particular vulnerability. It allows you to retrieve clear text master passwords, and the fix is coming soon, according to Bill at Bleeping Computer. And let me give props. Yeah, there we go. Dancing Wizard. There we go. Give Dancing Wizard. So, yeah, the issue with this is, and somebody named Video Honey tried to trick me by going early, but that didn't work. I didn't trick nobody, Lady P. I'm glad you're here. You must be in full lurk mode because I don't see any viewers here. Oh, there's the one viewer. Yes, one viewer. That's all I need. One viewer fuels me. But yeah, so there was a security researcher named Video Honey. I'm assuming Video Honey published a proof of concept allowing attackers to extract KeePass master passwords from memory as proof of concept. So there's a tool which you can get on GitHub from Video Honey. I would suggest getting it if you want to test this out before it is lost to the ravages of time. So you're saying I don't need to load the mod interface yet. I didn't know that there was a mod interface. If there is, great. I appreciate that. I get a box around your chat window that says you're a moderator on my stream chat. I didn't know there was a moderator interface, so that's cool. All right. So, wow. Okay, so we've got another week or so with this vulnerability inside of KeePass version 254. So if you want to test it out, I would suggest going and grabbing a copy of KeePass. Actually, looks like 2531 has got it, is vulnerable. Oh, yeah, I see the sword icon, yeah. I would go ahead and grab that as soon as you can. Looks like they keep old versions on their site, which I'm not exactly sure that's a good idea. They also are managing more than one version of KeePass, which again, I think is not a good idea. It smacks of like OpenSSL, where they had 09, I think at one time they had like 098, the 1.0, 1.1, 2.0, and I want to say they had like 4 or 5 different versions of OpenSSL. And I'm like, you have like 5 different versions that you're maintaining. And I was like, why the hell are people doing that? So do they only have one version now? Oh no, they still have 3.1 and 1.1. I'm assuming they're keeping the 1.1 for some kind of legacy kind of thing. But at the time, I remember them having like 098, SXZY tilde omega, whatever. And, so they've it looks like they minimized to version 3 and version 1, which is great. So this has been forked a couple times now. Why is it still a thing? Todd of Blur Court. I appreciate you coming. Which one has been forked? OpenSSL or KeePass? Could be a bit of both, maybe a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Well, it's the same reason. You've got, just because something is forked doesn't mean it's necessarily. Is it the newest? I mean, they're still putting out updates for KeePass. So, I mean, some people are still, they like the UI. I mean, it's like the same people that are like, hey, I like using Windows XP. You're going to pry it from my cold dead hand. Well, if Microsoft wanted to continue supporting XP in 7 and 8 and 10, they could do that. There was a major change that not everybody wanted from 1X to 2X for KeePass, and all the Linux distros are multi-version maintained. Heck, so is Microsoft Windows. Right. Oh, is there a KeePass X as well? Jesus. Okay, so yeah, okay, so this is where I had my, is there a KeyPass XA? I mean, Jesus. Okay, so this one's dead. Looks like this one is dead. Maybe let's see if we can download it. Downloads 203. So there's version 1. There's version 2, 203. I don't know how old this is. It's on GitHub. So let's go look at KeyPass X. Yeah, so it looks like this one is almost well and truly dead. I wouldn't use this one if I would not use KeyPass X. It may or may not have the vulnerabilities in it, so I don't know. Yeah, that just serves to confuse people, right? Oh, I'm using KeyPass. No, I'm using KeyPass X. No, I'm using KeyPass XC. So yeah, it's obvious that it looks like KeyPass XC is under different management. For instance, this one hasn't been updated since October, so maybe it just works. But anyway, KeyPass, the original, the prime, the whatever, has a vulnerability in it. So if you want to test the proof of concept code, go grab 2531 to make sure that you have it available, so that way you can check it out. So let's see. Oh, I don't want that. That's complicated. So where's the source for that? Oh, that's not it either. Okay. I did, didn't I? Oh my God. Okay, so where did I put that? There we go. Hey, VM Smith, how you doing? Thank you for coming, and thank you for subscribing and letting people know. So, a couple of people in Mastodon, because I'm going to own this, because I rarely have anything that actually gets popular on Mastodon. Let me go and get the link. Where is it? I have things that rarely make it popular anywhere, but so I was last night in my drug fueled haze. I said I can't trust online password managers. I was talking about the people who are like, everybody needs a password manager and what have you. And I was like, oh, I use a self-hosted version like KeyPass, and then there's the vulnerability. And I don't get things that go what could even be considered viral. So I'm happy that I got as much clickage and haha-ness as I did. And of course, Taggart said, yeah, KeyPass is not KeyPass XC. But yeah, there's a lot of people thought it was hilarious, which I'm glad. I rarely get anything like that, so I'm happy. It was a good week for me. But yeah, so apparently you can grab this from not just in memory where it's loaded, but any file that has memory dump in it. So a process dump, a swap file like page file sys, a hyperfill, or a RAM dump of the system. So somebody had said, hey, you need physical access to the box and whatever. And I was like, no, you don't, because it doesn't matter whether or not the workspace is locked. So you could grab this from an EC2 instance. If you could, do memory forensics on it or get NT system, I think. There's a ton of stuff out there that you can do that with. And I did not, oh, there's the GitHub for it. Okay, there we go. So there's the KeyPass dumper bit. Yeah, so the KeyPass 254 will come out the beginning of June 2023. So if you're using KeyPass, just, I don't know. Let me see. What can you do? Okay, yeah, once it's available, you've been using it for a long time, your master password could be in your page or swap file, hide file, or your crash dumps, depending on your paranoia level. Change your master password, delete your crash dumps, delete your hibernation files, delete your swap files, your page files, overwrite deleted data. Well, okay, for the uber paranoid, yes, go in and delete data on your hard drive with W's, and yet it's still safer than not using a password manager at all. Look, Lady P, I got all my passwords right here. I got all my passwords on my password book. See? It's all good. See? Passwords, they're right here. You can't even get to this. Look, I still think the technological level of need to learn how to use one. Lady P, yeah. I still think that the technology is not to where everybody can use certain technologies. Researching paper side channels. Oh yeah. Yeah, ski mask. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, nothing like a home invasion to be able to, access the forum posts on a site that I haven't been to for 25 years. Yeah, if you want to go super paranoid, I guess you could just, reinstall your OS. There you go. You win automatically. Incomplete list not impacted. Please create a pull request. Rule of thumb is that if it isn't the original KeyPass 2.x app written in .NET, it's likely not affected. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it has to have been written in .NET for it to matter. At least that's what I'm getting from the write-up that I'm seeing right here. So KeyPass XC, Strongbox, and even KeyPass 1.0. Okay, so only the 2.x stuff. Only the 2.x 1. So in this case, where the hell is KeyPass? It's been a day, hasn't it? Anyway. So yeah, KeyPass 1.0 is fine. 2.0 is, not good. And, other than that, just I don't know if KeyPass X, the one we talked about, was written in .NET, but if it's written in .NET, that might be a problem too. So Hibernate tested with KeyPass 253 and 247 on Debian. So it works on Linux too. It's not just a Windows thing. POC might have issues with different encodings, but that's not confirmed. Should work on Mac OS version as well. Unfortunately, enabling the master key on secure desktop option doesn't prevent the attack. And what I had read was, let's see, where does it say that? It says the flaw exists because the software uses a custom password entry box named Secure Text Box X, which leaves traces of the characters the user types in memory. Uses a custom developed text box for password entry. Oh, here's a video. We have a video. Okay, so let me maximize the. There we go. So we'll get to watch .NET run .memory dump .dump. Okay, so it's dumping that. Okay, password candidates, character positions, create master password. Is that it's that easy, I guess. Okay. Interesting. Hey, Beta Wolf. Hope your move went well from your house. Hope that's good. Not nearly. Lady P says the unused space may be susceptible to magnetic latency. If you want to be paranoid, you need to destroy the physical media and neutralize anyone that might be aware of your having done so. So what you're saying, Lady P, is that we need to take the hard drive, find a couple of hobbits who will take it to Mount Doom and cast it into the fire. So that way you can be 100% sure that, it's fine. And then, maybe you'll have, some fancy, maybe Tom Bombadil will come by and help you out there. Throw it into the fire. Come on, Mr. Frodo. Throw it into the fire. Yeah. So yeah, it's good times. So, oh, very cool, Beta Wolf. Yeah, I'm not gonna be here next Friday. I'll be here. Then Saturday morning, because we hate ourselves and we're masochists, we're going to try to go to Seattle Airport and fly down to San Diego. Because it's a holiday weekend, we need to do that because that's the thing we need to do. And so, next weekend we'll be down in San Diego, getting everything prepped and ready to go, and we'll have 20 some days at that point to come back. So, but yeah, so let's see. After compiling the tool using Visual Studio, we executed against our memory dump, and it quickly recovered most of our clear text passwords with just the first 2 letters missing. That sounds like back in the day when you're using Microsoft DOS, for all you beardy folks out there and non-beardy folks, maybe you don't have a beard. When you did undelete on DOS 622, and it would be like, oh, we found this file, and it said, what was it? It would be like, it would be XX like gamer.exe or something like that, and you'd have to know what the first two characters are. I never actually, as a kid, thought, oh, I could just put whatever two letters I wanted in there. It would, it's almost like it was like, oh, did you notice that this file had been deleted? Maybe you should tell me what are you sure this is the right file? And so I never actually put in the wrong answers for those to see if that was actually a thing. But fat removes the first character, replacing. Yeah, that was it. Sorry, Lady P. You're right. Fat. Yeah. But yeah, undeleting it was really weird because it was like, what if I put the wrong letter in there? But it sounds like it didn't matter and it would have recovered it anyway. But yeah. So yeah, first two letters are missing. Unknown characters are displayed as asterisks. And there's an entirely different horrible.NET KeyPass problem just a couple months ago, wasn't there? Don't know. .NET vulnerabilities. Is it this one, January 30th? KeyPass disputes vulnerability allowing stealthy password theft. Development team behind the management software KeyPass disputing a newly found vulnerability. 2023 24055. Hey, Capster, there you go. Enables threat actors with write access to the target system to alter the XML config files and inject a malicious trigger that would export the database, including all passwords and usernames in clear text. Womp womp. Yeah, however, this export process launches in the background without the user being notified. Oh, shit. Or KeyPass requesting the master password to be entered as confirmation before exporting. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's... Wow. Ouch. Ouchie. Owie, owie, owie. Oh, so it's not a bug, it's a feature. So they pulled the old, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Oh, God. And they're kind of correct here. If a user has installed KeyPass as a regular program and the attackers have write access, they can also perform various kinds of attacks. Threat actors can also replace the KeyPass executable with malware if the user runs the portable version. Yes, they have access. They can perform various kinds of attacks, but they can do so much more once they've gotten the entire password values and password accounts and everything from somebody. I still contend the right way is to keep half of the password in an online password manager and the other half in an offline password manager and a seed in your head. I don't want to put a seed in my head. It'll make things grow out of it. I don't want like shit growing out my ears. I'm already old enough. I'm going through second puberty. I got hair in weird places. So I don't want a seed growing in my head. That's not good. Yes, I know. It's okay. I'm not an idiot. Okay. Don't say anything, Late P. No. I am Groot. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, you're not paying anything for KeyPass, so, caveat emptor, or, only a fool in his money. No, wait, you get what you pay for. There you go. Groot sec. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, the reason that this struck me as odd was all the hey, I'm going to start using Bitwarden now because I don't trust online password managers, and my I've got to adjust my my kilts and all that and everything. And it was like offline password crackers have the same problem. Yes, everything's not stored in the cloud unless you store your password values on Google Drive or what have you. Yes, there are benefits to using a locally hosted system. Yes. If you're using KeyPass at work for your passwords, or key pass at all, then, these are things that might want to give you pause. And like Lady P said, you might want to put half your password on this and the other half, what you could do, Lady P, to kind of piggyback on that half a password somewhere else and whatever. You could put your password inside of your password locker, but then require, some additional entropy, like from a YubiKey or something like that you could use to attach another 30-character password on top of that. I actually saw, speaking of passwords, I saw something where somebody sent us a ticket and it was, hey, you don't set a password maximum. And I was like, I don't quite understand that. And the reasoning that they sent us the ticket, okay, I use half my password on a locally hosted Bitwarden, half in a hardware manager, and the memorize. Yeah, you use the multipass. Yeah. So the reason I had pause about the you don't set a maximum password. There could be a good reason for that, right? Setting a maximum password. What if somebody sets a 400 character password and it overflows a buffer, Yeah, we're allowing them to be more secure, but somebody's going to take that to the nth degree. What if they added, what if they put in, the Constitution or the, Declaration of Independence as a password? I mean, if you're storing your passwords correctly and hashed and salted, it's not a problem. I've been thinking about doing password in 1Password plus a seed in my head. Sure, that would work. I mean, right now, what I do, I don't use Moxie Marlinspike, or no, it wasn't Moxie, it was browser password plugins research. Who was that? Was it Moxie Marlinspike that was doing the plugin checks, and there was some kind of issue between the I forget, but I don't use password. Use a dynamic buffer. It's just going to hash down to the maximum key length. Right? Yeah. I'm trying to remember who did that, but ever since that research that happened, I have been real leery of installing 1Password's browser plugin thing, because I was kind of concerned about security there, right? Of course, it's been a few years and the technology's probably gotten better. So I just, end up opening my 1Password, copying and pasting everything in. And of course, that leaves everything on the keyboard until the clipboard until I decide to get rid of it. Okay, good. Everybody's decided to stop talking for the weekend. All right, good. But yeah, so, it's interesting. If you're using KeyPass for whatever reason, just, keep that in mind. Does mainline Firefox have sandboxing yet for plugins? It's hard to keep up. Hasn't Clipboard been shown to be exploitable? Sure. I mean, there's ransomware out there that will pull those kinds of things. And Beta Wolf, if you're trying to buy tickets to B-Side, you ain't getting them. They're sold out. So sorry, sir. I can't help you there. Matter of fact, their website says sold out. So unfortunately, I think you're going to not be able to make it this year, unless you can find somebody who has. Okay, yeah, no, I don't have. I could do that, but then I couldn't get into the event myself, and so yeah, it's one of those things. I think I bought mine the minute they put the tickets out. So because I'm just asinine like that. It's killing me. Yeah. I'm actually really happy about the speaker list. Tanya Yanka, of course, coming down coming down from Vancouver, talking about shifting security everywhere. You know, shifting left is, I don't use that term anymore because it's garbage. You know, the idea is to start security early as possible in the SDLC, which makes more sense. Let me see. Who else do I know who's going to be speaking there? It was, no. There's more speakers. I know there is. I don't know why we're not seeing the whole list. There we go. Samo, yes. John Vicky. Who was it? There was a couple of folks I knew who were going to be speaking. Tracy Martin. Yeah, Tracy Martin. DefenCon. Recently laid off from AWS, as mentioned in her LinkedIn profile. So if you're looking for somebody who's doing some awesome work, talk to Tracy. Go get Tracy Dat Security Chick, I think, on Twitter. No, I owe Tracy. Saw her post on the Masto. It's Masto now. I'm still tooting on the Mastos, so yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. Sean Malone, yeah, know Sean Malone pretty well. Let's see. Oh, JR. Whoa, that was interesting. Y'all just saw that, right? JR was supposed to be speaking at 4 o'clock, and now it's gone. That's interesting. Oh, there it's back again. Okay, so JR, one of our friends on our Slack, is going to be talking about data breaches, leaks, strict laws and regulations. So JR will be there, which is cool. Oh, okay, I see. You go. It's weird. You go to the bar opens bit, and it. If only it must be my browser. I probably need to use IE6 because it doesn't like Firefox or something. So, but yeah, there's several folks that I know that are excellent speakers and going to be there. So that's awesome. I know Todd Blorkauer. Yeah. Yeah. So. There's also NOLACon, I think, is happening. NOLACon's happening this weekend no. NOLACon. This is not NOLACon. Oh, no, it is. Okay, so there's like 3 or 4 different conferences happening this weekend. I'm not sure why. So, May 19th and 20th, conference. So it's in New Orleans. If you're in the New Orleans area, it says that register today, so it looks like they still may have. Dual Core is going to be there. That's cool. I'm going to be at DEF CON, but I'm going to be working my ass off at DEF CON. So first time I've ever been to Vegas for Hacker Holiday, and it's fun. And then smaller Bsides Springfield. Well, maybe not smaller, but Bsides Springfield, Missouri. Is happening this weekend as well. I spoke at this one. I actually gave the first talk at Bsides Springfield ever. If it wasn't the first, it was the second. But DEF CON Hacker Summer Camp. I don't know. What do you want to get out of it, Todd? What are you expecting to get out of it? Because a lot of people go just to be seen. And, that's perfectly valid if that's just the only reason you're going is to be seen and, see your friends because everybody's there. There's other conferences you could go to that are probably geographically closer. If you're on the East Coast, something like a ShmooCon, and they allow everybody to LobbyCon. You have, in the Midwest, you've got a ton of them. You got like 614Con, ThoughtCon, I think is happening either, if it didn't happen last weekend, it happened this weekend. You've got, there's a couple in 614Con. GurCon is also going on. If it didn't already happen, GurCon's 20. No, okay. So GurCon's 28, 29th, 2023. There's a lot of conferences you can go to that are in friendly states as well. That's something you might also want to think about. Nevada is not completely awful, but there's some conferences that people just don't feel safe going to that state anymore. So you want to pick your battles in that respect. And DeVos played Grand Rapids. Speaking of Deadwood, let me see. Wild West Hackin' Fest is in Deadwood in October 18th through 20th. If I was in Seattle to go to Deadwood, I would have to fly from here to Denver to Rapid City. If I was in San Diego, I have to fly from here to Denver to Rapid City, or I could fly to like Minneapolis or Chicago. They have a Dallas Fort Worth flight. Florida, Texas, Beta Wolf, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama now, Tennessee as well. But yeah, the states where accessible security conferences is starting to lessen. Thankfully, Kentucky, with DerbyCon, I would have had issues going to DerbyCon the last couple of years if they'd still been going on. But I mean, they're Todd, I think if you're just trying to meet people or maybe find a new job or just hang out with folks, I would argue that there's a ton of B-sides and there's other things. There's local meetups, there's monthly meetups. CSEC East, for instance, is let me see, did he announce it on the CSEC East? No, he did not. So like up here in Seattle, the people taking over for CSEC East are going to be in Bellevue at DOSA. I mean, there's tons of options. There's an embarrassment of riches for security meetups or what have you, if you want to do that. So you need to make new friends. Yeah. Local B-sides is awesome too. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how it is with Hacker Summer Camp, but I've been told that it's hard to find people. I mean, because it's a big venue, right? And so, so there we go. There's plenty of things going on. June's meetup, which is the last one I'm going to be attending, is at a DOSA house, which is actually really good. I've heard it's hard to necessarily find people, or you'll make plans and then something happened, everybody squirrel and they move along. It really just plus it's hot as balls outside, so it's going to be like 110. And I don't believe all of the venues are connected together. So if you want to go from like one of the hotels to the other, you have to go outside and across the street. You're going to walk a lot as well. I think Beta Wolf, you've known about DEF CON, but everyone's like, oh man, look at my step count, whatever. And it's like, yeah. Make sure that you stay hydrated. Maybe we'll have a survivor's guide to DEF CON and Black Hat. We'll talk to Ms. Berlin about that. So, but yeah, I mean, it really just depends on what you want to get out of it. If it's LobbyCon, I think a long time ago I figured out that it's if you go and you don't see any of the talks, what's the point? If it's just networking, then it is what it is. But at some point, you need to know what you're gonna get out of it. There's training. Training's great. Take some training. Shit. As long as your budget allows for that for your workplace or what have you. It's all about TendyCon, the secret con of DEF CON. I don't know what TendyCon is. I do know there's other conferences there, like Diana Initiative. I did hear that DEF CON this year canceled the Girls Hacking Village. So the Black Girls Hack group is creating their own conference. Nah, I can't type for shit right now. So they were told by DEF CON that I think somebody sent that out. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, I had heard actually that they canceled the Girls Hacking Village this year. Not sure. The link I had was from. Let's see. I had posted it up. I believe our good friend. No, that's not it. I posted the link to the article on Twitter. No, it's not Shecky. Where is it? Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, I'm going way back here. So, yeah, so they posted it up, but yeah, I mean, the Black Girls Hack folks are, yeah, yeah. So they were, let's see, Black Girls Hack. They had blogged about it, and they were looking for donations to help with some of the events that they were working on. Let's see, it's a blog post, I think. Yeah, so SquadCon's a 3-day conference, gender diverse perspectives to contributions, experiences, and issues facing the industries. Other SquadCon is going to be August 10th, 11th, and 12th. Um, they're going to have a general admission ticket of $150 and a VIP ticket, VIP plus, and they had a blog post. There it is. Great disappointment. DEF CON will not be as a village. We were notified. The leadership decided not to accept the inclusion of DEF CON 31. Oh, okay. So it sounds like that they were trying to get a Black Girls Hack event, but the Girl Hack Villages will live on as a standalone event. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, so y'all can go check out that link if you want to, and you know, help out if you want to. But yeah, I had seen the letter. I want to say somebody had posted it up to to the list there. So it's unfortunate. I don't know what the thoughts were about that. Yeah, but let me see, where is it? I know I retweeted it because I was like, WTF. So. Uh, Yeah, anyway. I'll have to find it later and post it up. So, yeah. So, you know, what was the other thing that I had? Oh, Friday. So, this is about a week old, or actually not a week old. It was the 15th. So, yeah, it came out on Monday. Hey, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why either. They exactly, there's a lot of organizations that want to be a part of DEF CON, and I don't understand DEF CON's idea. Age of Music, do you use KeyPass? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that if you use KeyPass, my bad. I didn't mean to. Yeah. Look, if you have if you have code, you have vulnerabilities. It it just goes that way. Um, this one was interesting. This is the patch that they're saying really isn't a patch, and this I believe this is the one that they said. Um, oh no, wait, this is something else. There was a secure boot patch that Microsoft was putting out that was like, if you install this, and it felt like a drug commercial where it was like, here's the side effects of doing that or what have you. Where is news secure boot pat? There it is. Yeah. So there's an O day. Apparently, it's super bad, like Terra bad. They said they'll take nearly a year to finish patching the new O day secure boot bug. The problem is if you patch, it has a non-0% chance of borking your system, and that's what I'm understanding here. They say once the fixes have been enabled, your PC will no longer be able to boot from older bootable media, but that doesn't include the fixes. Windows install media like DVDs and USB drives created from ISO files, custom Windows install images maintained by IT departments, full system backups, network boot drives. So it will potentially render your current system backups useless. Network boot drives will be unable to boot. Um, and let's see. Oh, and deploying anything that used to troubleshoot machines and deploy new Windows images. Strip down boot drives that use Windows PE and recovery media sold by OEM PCs. So if you've been holding on to your Windows 11 Dell PC box, that you got a Windows 11 install disk or a thumb drive, you won't be able to boot from it anymore. So it invalidates a lot of stuff. And they say they will be rolling the update out in phases over the next few months. So you have no choice, but eventually you're going to have to take it. It's hot garbage, unfortunately. And says, first you'll need to install May's security updates. So you'll need to install this month's updates. Then use a whole 5-step process to manually apply and verify a pair of revocation files that update your system's hidden EFI boot partition and your registry. It almost sounds like they're blowing away the secure boot implementation and reinstalling a brand new operating system or whatever exists for your secure boot, because how are you going to do that if I work remotely, right? How's it going to work for, so what I'm hearing is Windows 12 is coming. Well, yeah, Beta Wolf, Windows 12 is coming, Lady P, I've just now received a have I been pwned alert that one of our employees was exposed in the Luxottica data breach circuit. Good timing. I mean, wow. 2021, huh? Well, better late than never, right, Lady P? Some kind of SLA you're busting there, right? Maybe they're getting to the backlog from the pandemic and stuff. Maybe, Ignore this if it's way off topic, but have any otherwise vendor locked environments begun to think about what if Windows 12 just started exfiltrating too much information? I don't vendor locked environments. Well, okay, so Todd, let's think about that. Windows starts exfiltrating too much information. Didn't the same thing happen when Windows 8 came out and they had the telemetry thing that happened? There was so much furor about the telemetry assistant or some shit like that, and there were whole IP lists that you could add to your C WinNT System 32 Etsy hosts file or some shit like that to block that egress. What was it? Telemetry? Telemetry assistant Windows block. Yeah, there you go. Well, this was one of the things, like the host file blocking telemetry is now flagged as a risk. But yeah, so people were doing that all over the place, right? But the thing is, all they did was say, "Hey, we collect this. It's already being collected. We just weren't being upfront about it." For 8 through 10. Yeah. Vendor locked environments, you can always control your egress, right? So you're probably, Todd, you're probably also controlling like Windows Update. You're controlling, what comes into that environment. So you're probably using some kind of VPN solution, which means, whoever VPNs into your vendor locked environment is going to have to do full tunnel. So everything is going to be routed in and out through that VPN tunnel. I would say you can block your egress. You can block, anything going out. Our good friend Mick Douglas would always suggest monitoring your egress to see what's going on. You can't really, to a large extent, if it can't phone home, Windows 11 will eventually demand to be reactivated. Well, there you go. I thought that they'd fix that, and it was like they'll just nag you with like reactivation things. Um, at least Pro. Okay. Well, so the only difference between Pro and Home is what, BitLocker, right? And BitLocker is just encrypted, uh, systems. I'm not saying just. God, wrong. Okay, I said just. I'm sorry. The biggest feature that I saw when I was comparing Home and Pro was BitLocker. Unless and 8. Okay, 80. All right, there you go. But you can still connect a Windows 11 Home to an Active Directory server, right? you can you can still connect Windows 11 Home to Active Directory, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know if there's. Um, there you go. Oh, look at that shit! Wow, they really jankled that, boy. No, it's not possible to join a domain. You need Windows 11 Pro. That's filthy. Why would they do that? Ugh. Yeah, I saw that, Lady P. Ugh. I mean, there's always a. I guess there would always be. You could run. Could you run a Windows container or something? And I don't know what Todd's use case is here. So even Ubuntu had a scare, I guess. Yeah, I no, but I'm thinking, has anybody ever questioned what telemetry is going out to Ubuntu? Or do we not? Yeah, it is yeah, one time only, and it's on install. Okay. Todd, what kind of applications are your uh No, go ahead. Go ahead, Beta Wolf. Buy all the Ultima Online games. Yes, it's fun. Lots of reasons to dump Ubuntu. Yes. Yeah, I mean, so what's the new hotness if it's not Ubuntu? I've tried Debian. I'm not a fan of Debian because Debian doesn't have well, it didn't at the time I used it, had the ability to put the NVIDIA drivers that I needed to, use my graphics card. Um, oh yeah, yes, Beta Wolf. I am old enough to remember Ultima minus the online part. Yes, yes. Uh, yeah, Ultima, good old games. There you go. Am I being tracked? What's that? There you go. Oh yeah, buy that. Get that there. Yeah. Back when you actually had storyline because the graphics sucked. You know. Nowadays you have graphics but no storyline. Oh, 7 complete. Yeah, yeah. The second one here. Ultima 7 complete edition. There you go. All 7. Yeah, look at that. Look at them pixels. Yum. Maximum pixel. That's tasty. That's tasty. Yep. It's only $5.99, Beta Wolf. Problem is, I have games that I haven't played yet. So maybe it's one of these days. I'll be like, I don't want to do information security on this podcast. I just want to, play Diablo or something. I can't like 7 and 8 looked amazing. Okay. Ultima 4, 5, and 6. Ultima Underworld 1 and 2. Let's see. What's number 8 look like? Let's see. 8. 8. Oh, oh, gold edition. There you go. Okay. That's creepy. Oh yeah, it does look nice, don't it? Oh, they got that Diablo vision kind of 3/4 perspective kind of thing going on there. Yeah, yeah. Wait, what is this mature stuff? Where am I? Apologize if you actually see a pixelated, uh, boob or something. I don't know. Yes, it very much reminds me of like an earlier version of Diablo or Diablo 2. Um, Ultima 9, what are you doing to me, man? We're so far afield. It's okay. It's Friday. It's casual Friday, so it's all good. Buy the whole series for $29.94. All right, so you buy all 9 for $29.94. Oh, he's ascending. Okay. Oh, that's a huge difference. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I used to play a game called Asheron's Call that looks very similar to this. About the same kind of graphics. Asheron's Call was an online game. I used to play in the middle of the Indian Ocean on dial-up. If you can believe that. So here's what some of the graphics look like for it. So, damn it, come on, man. There you go. All of these characters. It was an MMO, but I could play it on dial-up in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Oh yeah, pre-WoW, definitely pre-WoW. As a matter of fact, Asheron's Call was one of the few games that the sequel, Asheron's Call 2, didn't survive because everyone wouldn't stop playing Asheron's Call. And it is so loved that somebody took the was it Asheron's Call server. They reverse engineered the server calls and the server emulator, and they have an emulator to play the game, which will give you the world of Dareth, which is where Asheron's Call came from, or where Asheron's Call is played or set, and basically give you everything from like the patches from the last like 2016. My last Windows machine at home is my VR machine. That's true. You should not run Kali as your daily driver. That is true. Trying Kali on my little work laptop recently. I had to put a thank you Windows, it's free now, Windows 10 drive up recently so I can use the VR headset I bought. I think it's because Kali, the basic, does it ask you to make a user now? Because the last time I used it, everything was running as root. And the other reason I stopped using Kali was because it was a bloated piece of shit. And every time I ran, the system, I needed 3 gigabytes of updates. And oh, good, they've updated it. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good for them. I had to get rid of the Unity desktop, which saved me about a gig of space. But I ran LXDE or something like that, the lighter version, because I didn't like Unity as a desktop. So, but anyway, yeah, Asheron's Call has a custom complete scratch open source emulator built on C#. So that was kind of cool. If I was learning C#, I would definitely be playing with that. So, but yeah, people still love the game. I think they're still making content for it, which is ironic. It's still very much active. Yeah, Asheron's Call 2 was the replacement that was upgrading graphics and everything. You had mounts and all this stuff. I think it was probably like to compete with early World of Warcraft, but everyone loved, the storyline of Asheron's Call. Learning languages hasn't gone well for you. Yeah, Lady P, yes, learning languages hasn't gone well for you yet. It almost makes sense to go to an older version of one like C# or something like C, not C++. That sounds like I'm not painful like that, but it doesn't seem like C# would be the best place. It's old, but it's still like legit, right? But yeah. And of course, learn any C# programming language using .NET. How well does that work out? We're full circle now. Let's learn about .NET applications that are secure. Oh wait, learn only Rust. No, God, no, man. Beta Wolf. I have a feeling that the same issue applies with Rust that Golang did. You're gonna have people like, oh, here's a 1.0 Rust, Rust tutorial, and it's like, well, I'm on like 1.75, and it's like, oh, well, we had a breaking change at 1.2, and none of these tutorials make sense or whatever. Yeah, I did Golang. All the cool kids were doing it until I ran out of stuff to do that didn't cost me money. Actually, what was it? What was it? Handoff. Why did I just search for that? Golang. No, it was an application that I saw. Golang project. Encryption. It was an encryption. I hate this. I'm gonna have to bring my laptop in here from now on because what happens is my tabs don't cross mogenate, and then yeah. So there was something I found. It's on my laptop. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna one second. Okay. All right. Biometrics. There we go. All right. Let me see. GitHub. Yeah, there it is. GitHub.com/Jason MF handoff. So this is a Golang project that somebody created that easily exchanges secret data with no prior key exchange. Now, that scares the shit out of me, to be honest. And tries to explain. I mean, great, thanks, Lady P. No, actually, I'm supposed to have an interview with some of the Blumera folks. Which, oh, by the way, 1 second, let me pull this up. I like to do things a little differently sometimes. Me. Today's episode of the Breaking Security Podcast and Stream is brought to you by Blumera, which provides easy-to-use SIM and XDR that can be set up in minutes. Teams of all sizes can resolve security threats faster with detection rules written by BreakSec's own Amanda Berlin. Learn more at blumera.com/break. Now, on with the show. Yeah. Just skip ad. That hurts, man. Swipe right. Swipe right. Oh yeah. But yeah. So, uh, if Twitch had like legitimate, security companies wanting to, do ads for it that wasn't like NordVPN or something, would be good, right? I know you're clowning Age of Music. It's all right. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, one of the reasons that we've engaged Blumera and others is because every ad or every company that wants to advertise on Twitch is some kind of fucking gaming product or a free month worth of Xbox Live, and I'm like, I don't know. Well, one, I have a ones of followers, ones of viewers regularly, so it's like, would people even take advantage of that stuff? And it's like, I'm supposed to be a somewhat semi-professional security podcast and stream, so it's like, why am I advertising Xbox shit on my my stream? So it is what it is. So we're still looking for other legitimate security companies, legitimate companies putting out legitimate products that don't suck. So Blumera is one of those that don't suck, and we're glad to have them. So. Handoff is a tool to exchange secret data with no prior key exchange. So this person has a website, and they even has a nice, CLI that you can use to, send data to people. Looks like they might even have the ability to send SMS messages to these people. So, is this X? I hope to God this is not base 64 encoded only. Go look. Cyber Chef. What the? Input. And from base 64. Should offer. Okay. Is this where I'm about to blue screen? Let me know if I blue screen or not. My Oh, I think CyberChef crashed. Oh, that's not good. Do, 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 do. Oh my God, what in the hell? My internet dead. No, oh, okay, there it goes. CyberChef. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they put it in a base64 encoding format, and this is what comes up, which is, I guess, encrypted or something. And yeah, looks like you can actually call cell phone numbers. Or oh no, that's what they were reading from standard in. Okay, so that's the number that they gave that was encoded and armored. Okay. So let me see. Alice generates a key with some kind of helpful reference like Bob cell. The tool provides a key, saves the key pair it's generated to disk. She sends that value to Bob via chat. I don't know how this is any different than, say, sharing your public key with somebody and then using before 64 we used ASCII armoring for binary data. Yeah. Back in when I was using Yank was my my go-to for this was for binary and to text encoding. I used to use that quite a bit on news groups and things when I was downloading legitimate software from the internet. Oh, yeah. See, I was using Windows at the time, so I bet Bin to ASCII did not was not available to Windows. Of course, I was a little fledgling wannabe back then, but that's not it. There we go. This is the worst. Anyway, so yeah, detailed information. DOS program that reads up to 127 kilobytes of ASCII files consisting of a string for ASCII converts to a binary object file on a PC. There you go. Oh yeah, look at that. That brings back memories. Yes, that's very nice. 8+3 format. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Used to be I've used a B. Yeah, I would have used a BBS, but my folks, you know, uh, had a really crappy baud modem, and don't know why I never got on, but it was only 2400 baud. So at the time, if I had thought about it, it would have been great. So yeah. So I'm unsure how this is any different than a public private key pair where you keep the key and you encrypt the message because you have to send the value to Bob via chat. So Alice would just send Bob her public key. She would sign something with her private key or encrypt something with her private key, send the message encrypted with her private key to Bob, who has her public key, who could then, no, wait, my bad. Strike that, reverse it. Yeah, yeah. So I'm not sure how the asymmetrical stuff is any different. Yeah, I know it's not public private key, but there's so she generates a key, so she generates a value, right? According to this, and then she has to send that value to Bob via chat. That's the problem. Yeah, Todd, that's what I'm trying to understand here. The tool provides the key that she now has to send this value to him. So she's sharing basically a password, which is what appears to be base64 encoded or armored in this case. What? I think Age of Music is having a moment here. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. The server. What? Oh, I see. Wait. Put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. There you go. Figured it out. I'm pretty good at reading upside down and backwards, so that's pretty good. Good job, Age of Music. I got it. But so it generates a key that she has to give to Bob. Bob provides the key he received from Alice to the handoff tool, so he has to use handoff as well. Tool notes that this key is in reference to Bob's cell. That's what he's expecting to provide. So he enters his cell number into the tool. It prints out some encrypted text, and he sends that back to Alice via chat. So it's a way of creating secrets. So this person's mentioning key pairs. So keys are used to be single use. So it's like what do they call those? Not a one-time pass. Oh shit! I was trying to remember. S key. S key back in the day. It was supposed to. I actually used it for FTP. It was actually pretty fun. S key use FTP. It was a one-time pad as well, but anyway, it's one way tied to an event. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was not. I recognize the Missy Elliott reference now that you've mentioned it was a Missy Elliott reference, but um, that's right. In her song, she reverses that. Yeah, yeah. When I was using OpenBSD back in the day, one of the things was you could create some OTPs, one-time passwords for FTP. So if you wanted to FTP to your box saferly, you would FTP using S key, and you'd log in, and it would ask you for a password, and then you'd pick a password that's like next in the list, which you would have written down, like a recovery key. You'd log in, and that password is gone. It's been ate by the system. So if somebody was intercepting your FTP across the wire, which of course is unencrypted, they would see that password and then try to use it, and it wouldn't work. No, it's okay. One-time secret on our own servers to send users new logins, for example. There you go. Yeah. S key's not new. OTPs are not new. I just wish I could find. Ooh. It knows me. Yeah, so here's something similar, but here's a lightweight S key one-time password generator. Yeah. Oh, this is not the one, but yeah, this is great. This is a way of doing it. It implements in C, and it gives you a bunch of values that you can use, and you have to configure your FTP or your plain text protocol servers to use it. But yeah, it works great. S key in open BSD. Yeah. 64 bits information by, SHA-1 would be about what you want to use. Yeah, S key manual pages. One thing I always liked about, thank you, Age of Music. I appreciate that. I don't know what made my nose go crinkly, but yeah, when I was using OpenBSD back in the day, that was the way I would I would use this to FTP stuff home, and you'd get so many, and then you just have to regenerate them on a regular basis. Yeah, there you go. So where is it? Fred to further improve S key, configuring S key and SSH. So the reason somebody's like, why would you use a FTP? It wasn't blocked in our environment. Actually, this is kind of why I became a security person. Kind of a story of that. I worked on the NMCI project. Actually, this was back in 2002, 2003, before I joined the NMCI project. For those of you who don't know, back in old timey days, before the cloud, NMCI was the largest network project in history. The idea was, and we always joked that it was some admiral in Japan got up, needed to check his email, and on his machine in Norfolk, Virginia, couldn't do it. And he wanted a way of doing that seamlessly through the network. And yeah, I love SFTP. I use it quite a bit. And So the idea was, and this was before Amazon had their clouds, and there's before the Azures and the GCPs and whatever, uh, racks and racks of servers in data centers that the Navy owned, and they contracted with EDS because EDS underbid everybody. They said basically like $50,000 and we'll set up your network for you. $5 billion later, they were bought by HP, and I was an EDS employee, and then I became an HP employee. Nowadays, and I was actually talking to somebody who used to work with me on the NMCI project. I was like, we spent billions of dollars sending email through servers in like San Diego and Norfolk and those areas. And I'm like, now it'd be you just call up Amazon and you're done, right? The technology has changed so much. And well, I quit working on the job in 2019 or 2009. And I believe it was still going as of like 2012, 2013. They just call it next gen or something like that. But everything is all like in the cloud now. So it would have been way simpler to do. And so they didn't block port 21 and 20 and 21 going out on FTP, but they blocked port 22. And of course, I'm trying to figure out why. And I wasn't a security person then, and I didn't understand the ramifications and what SSH could do back then. And got up all the way, I think, to the CISO of the San Diego NOC, because the NOC was important enough to have its own CISO. Idly curious if the Navy's on OpenBSD or whatever still. I don't think they were ever on OpenBSD. Maybe before 2001, but when I got, let me see, we were using NT on Diego Garcia. When I got to San Diego in 2001, Solaris 7 was there, and we were using some HPUX stuff. Right, they were on a hardened BSD. I do remember Trusted Solaris was on some of the cross-domain solutions back in the day. And yeah, the HPUX stuff was super locked down and weird to the point where this is 15 years old and it's not classified in any way, but DISA had certain hardening standards for certain OSs, and the program of record that I, as the IT person, had to run these scans against, these HPUX systems, which were classified at the time. I won't tell you what they did. They were just classified. A lot of the changes that DISA wanted us to make for the HPUX systems would have broken the thing. So we had to basically write up the issue, go to the program of record, which at the time was at Spaywar and just down the street in San Diego, and say, hey, we need to fix this. And they'd be like, nope, you're not going to fix that. That's fine. Program of record, whatever. And so that was my job. But anyway, back to the port 22 thing. I didn't know what was going on, and I ended up getting a hold of the person at the NOC. At the time was the CISO, I believe, and it was probably the entire network operations center, which was beyond just network monitoring. And she wouldn't tell me why they did it. She was like, yeah, we just block certain ports. And I was like, well, why not FTP? It's not secure. You're blocking an encrypted protocol versus an unencrypted one. She wouldn't tell me. And that's what got me onto, the quickest thing for me to, figure out why this is what it is to tell me that, you can't tell me. And I was like, okay, I'll figure that out. Obviously, now SSH. Does anybody know? Of course, it's tunneling, right? You could set up a port forward from one SSH server to another server, and it would drill right through your firewall with no problems. I'm sure the technology's gotten a little better, but you can still drill through your firewall that way. So I set up FTP on my server at home so I could connect to it and bring, exfiltrate data, not government secrets. Let me reverse that, flip it and reverse it like what Todd said. I would exfiltrate like YouTube videos and things like that. That's it. No state secrets, no government secrets. Please do not have the black helos coming after my ass. I was very much a patriot, and I'm too pretty to go to jail. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Trusted Solaris was a good one. Yeah, the labeling on that Lady P was crazy. There's like, being a black admin versus a green admin, or a red admin, or a white admin, or white root, or something like that. Yeah. Busy watching. Thank you, Lady P. I'm hiding in your noise. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah. Please don't be suspicious. Please don't be suspicious. But yeah, the labeling on that was crazy, and I had to be black root. I think was the highest that it was, and then green user I think was the lowest there was. I forget it. It's been a minute since I've had to deal with that, but it was one of the cross domain solutions that we used at the time. Rainbow of colors. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So we replaced one system for another, and at the time the cross domain solution we were using was like an NFS mount read write on the low side, and then the data would get pulled from the read write NFS mount onto the central location, and then the high side it would have a read only mount to pull from the central side to pull things up to the high side, and that's how we would get our weather data like maps and charts and graphs and things that we created on the low side up to the high side. There's a clue in there for anyone watching this that had the placement at the time to recognize the significance. Did you work on some of the rainbow books? Did you create some of the rainbow books, Lady P? The DoD Rainbow series? Yeah, the orange book, the green book, the light yellow book, the yellow book, the tan book, the bright blue book, the neon orange book, the aqua, red, orange, lavender, purple, brown, blue. So these were all the books back in the day that kind of decided security for a lot of folks way back, way back, like understanding audit and trusted systems and what have you. They call them the rainbow books. Um, this is before the 800 dash whatever's 5200. The orange book was the one that we did a lot of work with. Trusted computer evaluation criteria. What was the other? Green Book, Password Management Guideline as of 1985. Password guidelines from 1985, by the way. We were still looking at that book as of 2002. There was also, which one? What was the other one here? Trusted networking. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Discretionary controls and trusted systems. Yeah, that one. 1987. We were still referring to the neon orange book. It was the green book, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, the green book, and then I want to say it was the light yellow book. Maybe that was the other one. It's been a minute, but yeah, there's a ton of books there that you can go and follow and read for historical value. They also come in a nice text-only view that looks very much like you might download it from a. Oh, any thoughts on the idea of consolidating the cybers in the forces? Certain podcasters claim they invented security. Oh my god, is that Schneier? No, I'm trying to remember. Um, there, a lot of people make stupid claims. Um, you know, I actually know the guy who helped create some of the first stack canaries. He's a friend of mine. I used to go to work with him at Leviathan. He actually lives down the street from me. Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember them saying that, but okay. I want to see some of the pull requests that he's got here. Issues. Let's see what kind of issues. Oh, no open issues. My uh yeah, okay. Maybe I'm forgetting. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Um, yeah, people make a lot of grandiose claims. Um, I should get Dr. Crispin Cowan on at some point in the future. Maybe he will. Very smart, intelligent person there. So, um, okay. So what else do we want to talk about? Is yeah okay. Um, so way to go back about 30 minutes. The secure boot bug is a pain in the ass, and being able to apply that to every device is going to be nightmarish. I think if this O-Day comes to light, they're going to have to figure out a better way of patching it than what they suggested, because it's going to cause a lot of issues. Um, so yeah, and that will be interesting if that bug actually. That's going to be one that they're going to try to hold on to. But when did this 5/11? So May 11th. So 90 days would put us, assuming it was the 11th. Let's go back to the 9th. Let's say, or the 8th, which is Monday the 8th. So 30 days from that would be, let's see, that's 30, 61. So probably the first week or second week in August is when the 90 days would be up on something like that. It's almost tempting to tell stories of my luck. I'd spend my few remaining years in a dark hole, though. Yeah. Let's not. I don't want to be the like the New Jersey Air National Guard person who's looking at the looking at spending a little time in Fort Leavenworth. So yeah, Lady P. Let's err on the side of caution. But so Todd, you asked a question. Any thought on the idea of consolidating cybers in the forces? I was around before Space Force was a thing, and they were just starting to stand up the electronic warfare folks, so like cyber warcom and all that stuff. It would have been a lovely time to be alive and being involved with cybercom. That was just, I think, in its infancy back in 2004 when I left, and then in 2007 when I left government service. Um, or I mean, when I left GS service, I was. It would have been fantastic at the planet. Oh, 1 second. You're asking for Beta Wolf. So Beta Wolf, you might have you asking for somebody. Let me hold on a second. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. Hey Nathan, how you doing? Hello Nathan. Saw you joined our Discord, so welcome to the Discord. Welcome to the Terror Dome, if you will. So yeah, Black Lotus and other boot kits. So if this is, I think we're gonna find out probably the first or second week in August once the 90 days lets go on this O-Day, if the researcher was kind enough to show Microsoft the issue. The clock is ticking on the 90 days. So I would have to search on who said that again, but Alexander just spoke out against it, so maybe it's good. I think being able to share threats and being able to share talents. I mean, we cross train all the time. When I went to boot camp, I left boot camp and went to my Navy A school, which was in Keesler Air Base in Biloxi, Mississippi. The first 3 months of class, I was with Air Force, Marines, and I think one Coast Guard person doing weather stuff. So I think that there's probably some good ideas on cross mogenation, cross training, teaching everybody the same thing. I think your basic cybercom course, it's all going to be the same shit, but there's going to be specifics that are not going to cover. Like the Marines aren't going to be worried about satellites. It might be the Air Force or Space Force, or electronic jamming might be the Navy and the Air Force. Communications or something like that. Any secret, underwater ranges, probably going to be the Navy only at this point. Or I doubt the Air Force or Space Com's going to need to know the electronics and the cybersecurity of submarines, for instance. So I think there's, like most jobs, like most skill sets, a lot of the same things, like computer security. But there's going to be certain things in cyber that are going to be specific to those teams, including various threats. Like, the Navy needs to know about threats to submarine communications by, um, futzing with the weather, or maybe, why are they throwing so much salt in the water? Well, the salinity changes the acoustic characteristics, or, electromagnetic waves that would be sending messages over, comms traffic would be changed by that. I don't know. I don't, I'm just guessing, but there'll be specific things that they do there. So submarine cables, right? That would be more of a physical security thing. But yes, it would be like something like that. The threats involved with that, China or Russia, hijacking a cable or something like that. Yeah, all of them have decent cyber now because they all do different things. Even the Coast Guard has, drug interdiction and things. So they're dealing with threat intelligence from crime groups and cartels and drug runners and things like that. So their threat intel is going to be a little different. So their threat actors are going to be a little different when they're doing interdiction. What is it? Oh, is it time now? Do I have to do? Come on! I was playing with my friends. Come on! Come on now! Oh, my friends are here. You're embarrassing me. Come on! Dang it! All right, y'all. My wife says it's time to go eat, so I'm gonna go now. Lady P says you knew it was bullshit the minute I told you they were my friends. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go. Y'all have a good weekend. I hope to see you if you're gonna be at Bsides Seattle. Otherwise, I may come on tomorrow night just to do a post happy fun time with y'all. So talk soon. Be safe, and we'll see y'all soon.